Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus, and today I'm gonna be playing against Father Nicholas. It has been far too long since I've played against him, and today we have a little bit of an idea that both of us kind of knew what we were going up against, and still decided to bring the teams that we did. So basically he said, you know what, I'm gonna play Stress Sliper, you can do whatever you want, Shep, I'm gonna do Stress Sliper and I'm gonna have fun. And then as we were rolling into the match, he said this team is gonna be called Screw This One in particular. So I can see that it's basically a team that's trying to focus down a single character, which is kind of what I tried to do yesterday or before yesterday, if I remember correctly, and it didn't work out too well, but honestly, with the team that he has, I feel like it's a little bit better to do that. And he's already saying no because I went for the Virtue chance here. And yeah, I am playing a Virtue team, I'm playing the Quadra Virtue team, even though, oh, I didn't bring Abomination with the Virtue Trinket. I knew I was missing something. But yeah, I didn't bring the Abomination. I didn't really think that it would be the best move for me. I thought that I wanted this setup, and I felt like this setup would be a little bit more fun in general. I also brought the Veteran's Gauntlet to maybe get a daze or two, but you know, that's just unfortunate. Come on, Virtue chance. I have a 70% Virtue chance. Do I get it? Yes, I do. Turn 1 Virtue. Father Nicholas says turn 1 Affliction. What the F? Yeah, what the F? Immediately into the focus. Can you imagine that? A round 1 Virtue, like in a tournament or something, that would be absolutely wacky, but yeah. Round 1 Virtue, there we go. My opponent going for the full-on stress on one character, and me going for the full-on Virtue, and since I have Sacred Blade and a Penth on this Crusader, the chance was actually really freaking good. So here's the thing that's kind of weird about Nepenthe. It gives you Virtue chance, but it also gives you minus stress taken. So it's a weird trinket, because you kind of want to go to 100 stress, because you can get the Virtue, right? But you don't want to go there too fast because of the minus stress taken. It's a weirdly built trinket, and a lot of things in the Butcher's Circus are like this. It's like you try to dodge something altogether, but if you do get hit, then maybe you still have a chance of surviving. That's kind of the idea. You can give yourself a lot of dodge and then protection at the same time. Pretty much the same thing as having minus stress taken on Virtue chance, because having a Virtue is really good, but as we all know, there's virtues like Courageous, which are more than really good. They're freaking ridiculous, because not only do you go Virtuous, you also have minus stress taken on top after getting the Virtue. So you don't even need to wait for that resolve check, you just go complete Super Saiyan and just destroy everything pretty much. Now, it looks like my opponent is changing the pressure onto the Antiquarian. Each and every time I've been using Inspiring Cry, they've been saying no in the chat, and it is quite hilarious. I like it, I like it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and not drop another Rejuvenating Vapors yet. I'm gonna go for the solo here. I want to drop a finale sooner rather than later. Maybe a crit finale, even with 90 plus 16. I might be able to just whack one of these characters off the battlefield. If I go for a crit finale right now, do I do enough damage to this occultist? I think so. I'm not entirely sure, but I do think so. Also, they're probably going to try to stress out my Antiquarian here, but I'm going to use one more Inspiring Cry before that happens. Even with a crit here, though. Oh, maybe they do enough stress. Oh, do they? No, they don't. Just barely, right? Yeah, 40 stress, by the way, against Tears of the Lost and against Bolster. So minus 30% stress and still did that amount. Yeah, 2 trinkets here. Kind of wacky, if you ask me. But yeah, you can see Father Nicholas already hovering over there with actually accuracy and crit for the mana arms. That's really nice. Yeah, already hovering over my Crusader and now hovering over the Antiquarian. Yeah, it's pretty obvious what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna give myself Virtue chance, and now I'm up to 45%, which isn't as cool as the what do you call it? As the 70% chance, but maybe it's still enough. We're gonna get the resolve check here. It's at 100, but that doesn't mean too much. Oh, we go hopeless. That's really sad. That's really sad. You might be wondering, Shep, why did you bring the Nepenthe here instead of the Glorious Banner? The thing is, it's another weird thing. This clears stress, but gives you Virtue chance. Do you want to prevent the Affliction? do you want to prevent a resolve check, or do you want to get to the resolve check and then get a virtue? It doesn't make sense. It would be more sense if it was like stress minus 40 and then no virtue, or if it was something like no minus stress but just like plus 35% virtue chance or something like that. Now, I personally would hate it because the RNG on that would be absolutely ridiculous in terms of how a match would go. I don't think that would be a particularly smart idea when it comes to balancing games, but no, it's something that's definitely quite interesting. Look at this, with the extra 10% crit chance, 22 to crit that cultist right there with Retribution. Keep giving me more crit, Crusader, keep giving me more. He also has plus crit there, so I pretty much just more than doubled his crit chance on the Zealots, by the way. And Hopeless goes for the immediate pass. Of course. I give myself 55% virtue chance, but my first act out to the pass. Yeah, what can I do about it? I just have to suck it up and accept it. Oh, look at this! Because of the days, my opponent can't heal or use their occultist's final action. There's just not too much they can do here. And even though they tried stressing my man-at-arms out, because I got the crit, I have minus stress taken. Yeah, and Father Nicholas immediately says, minus 33% stress taken, my ass. Yeah, he says, don't do it, don't do it, no, don't do it. Don't do it, chef, don't do it. I'm sorry, man, I gotta do it, man. I'm gonna go for it. Crit 32, that is a massive crit, that is juicy. Crit 32, that's what a crit's for then. The 25 goes up to 32. I don't really know if the damage mod is 1.33 or 1.34 or just 1.3 or even 1.35. Whenever you get a crit, it's something that's kind of weird, because in the base game it was 1.5, which is just ridiculous. Yeah, 1.5 to max damage. Just absolutely ridiculous how much that used to give you. Kind of broken, if you ask me. Here the smartest move would be to go for a stun, but I'm just gonna do this. I want to get another virtue. I do want to get another virtue. Actually, with all the minus stress I have here, I'm not too sure that's gonna happen, but hopefully it does still happen. Yeah, I don't have any Nepenthe here on the man-at-arms, that's unfortunate. I have the Nepenthe here on the Jester, so kind of lacking in terms of virtue chance, but I feel like it was a necessary sacrifice. I'm gonna go for a command buff now, and my Antiquarian is gonna have absolutely wacky amounts of crit chance for Festering Vapors with Materia Pestis. 23% crit chance, and I don't get either of them, not one of the 23s. I guess there's only 3 characters left, but that's still unfortunate. Did I also fail a Blight? I failed a 95% Blight against the Leper. Well, isn't that wonderful? I failed the 95 against the Leper, but I got the, what is that, the 65? No, that's more than 65. I got the 75 against the Antiquarian and the 55 against the Grave Robbers, so very cool. That do be how the Butcher's Circus works. I think that in the base game it actually works differently, doesn't it? And I'm not sure how it works in Darkest Dungeon 2, but in Darkest Dungeon 1, in the PvE, your, for example, Blight chance is the same across all the characters, so like, instead of rolling an individual dice for each of them, like either you get the Blight or you don't, you just basically get like, okay, you roll a 90% on this, so the characters that have low Blight resistance will get affected, and the characters with high Blight resistance will not get affected. Which is weird. It makes more sense that it's just the same for, it's just one for each of them, than just being, you know, you roll first and then you just throw whatever you roll at the enemy's side. It's kind of weird. I don't know which makes more sense, actually, come to think of it. I don't really know too well. I'm gonna go for the crit cells here, sadly I don't get it. Because technically if you were to go for, I mean, if you were to tell your doggy to go Hound's Harry and you know, just go ham on their characters, would the doggy just have his determination from here, or would he have his determination to crit when he pretty much chomps each and every single one of the opponent's characters? I don't really know too well. I think that looking at each of their characters and then deciding whether or not you're going to be a little bit more daring and go for the crit technically makes more sense than you know, just your master telling you go maul them with your ability. Hound's Area. I'm thinking of like the Houndmaster going like, Oh wait, what's her name? What's the doggy's name? I don't know. She just calls her. I don't know what she calls her. She calls her like hound. I don't know. He calls her a lot of good things. He definitely loves her. It doesn't really have a name. The doggy does she? I don't think so. We do know that the doggy is female, but we don't know her actual name. But yeah, I'm imagining like Hound, go Hound Terry, and then goes for the crit chances. Yeah, that would be quite hilarious if he said something like that. Okay, I only have 15 virtue chance. Oh, come on! I wanted more virtues than that. More virtues. Unfortunate. Here comes the command buff though. I must say, I've been playing this match on pretty much autopilot. So I haven't been making the best decisions, I don't think. I think I should have been spamming Zealous from round 1. It definitely does a lot more than just doing the Inspiring Cry. Especially when the virtues don't work anyway. It's just unfortunate, but ooh, that is really good. I mean, there's 2 afflictions coming up soon. Who's the stress team now, man? You're gonna have more afflictions than I do in just 1 round from now. Or is he gonna go for the affliction on the Jester? Probably. The Leper goes Masochistic, which is actually really good right now, isn't it? It's a little good. Goes for the Panic Darts into a dodge. Yeah, that's why you bring Monkey Spawn the Grave Robber. You know what I'm gonna do here, actually? I'm gonna give him even more crit chance. Nice. And I'm gonna do this onto the Jester. Father Nicholas says, I thought Finale was supposed to reduce dodge. Yeah, he's still at 40. Oh my god, is it because of the solo? I think it is. Goes for the Intimidate, does hit. What's his stress output? Oh, brutal. That's brutal. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for the Retribution here, if I can, of course. 95 to hit. Yeah, I can't miss with all the focus buffs and the Battle Ballad. Yeah, no, I absolutely cannot miss right now. I don't even need the Insignia of Rank, honestly. Goes for the flat. Yeah, I think Insignia of Rank here is generally worse on this team than the Veterans Gauntlet. I picked it and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick something that's a little worse. Also, I dodged again. I'm gonna pick something that's a little worse. I'm just gonna go for the Insignia. I mean, I'm gonna go for the Veterans Gauntlet pretty much for the walls, right? But it looks like I was wrong. It is better here because, I mean, the Insignia of Rank gives you 12 accuracy and 3% crit, compared to this, which gives you damage in the daze, but the daze was kind of essential to me winning this match. Did she miss again? Holy, that is a lot of misses, my man. I could go for yet another virtue chance here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Give myself more virtue. Now I have a 55% virtue chance. Yeah, it was really essential towards me getting the win, because dazing that occultist meant that he couldn't heal himself and just get a slot machine going. So very happy about that. Do I get virtuous here? It isn't over 100, but oh, I don't get virtuous. Come on, that's unfortunate. Yeah, the only character that hit from my opponent's side was the blind man. Is he really blind? Is the leper blind because of his leprosy? I'm not exactly sure, actually. I don't really know all too well. I don't think he's blind. I just think he has impaired vision, but I may be completely wrong. Definitely feel free to correct me if I am, but at this point things have become very difficult for my opponent. Honestly, the point that my man-at-arms, the point that my Crusader wind focused around 1, things became very difficult for my opponent. Because focused is probably, I think, the 3rd best virtue. There aren't that many virtues, I think there's like 5 of them, but focus is definitely one of the better ones. The best one being Courageous, of course. Courageous doesn't do anything if you're against a damage team, but if you're against a damage team, you're not even gonna go Afflicted like 95% of the time, so who cares? If you're against a damage team and you go Vigorous, that's absolutely crazy if that somehow happens, usually because there's like an abomination that just transforms on their side. Please don't stun. Thank you, Veterans Gauntlet. Thank you for that stun chance. Very much appreciated. This is one of the problems of running Veterans Gauntlet. This is something that people have known for like 2 years. Yeah, 2 years, pretty much since the Circus began. Wait, isn't it 3 years? Isn't the 3rd year anniversary coming up? Oh my god, the Witcher Circus has been out for so long. I feel like a boomer right now. But yeah, I remember even then watching a video of someone saying like, "Oh yeah, Veteran's Gauntlet, I don't think it's very good." It actually, you see that stun day skill chance. Day skill chance is good for it, but you see that stun chance, it actually lets you stun other characters with your act outs. I remember someone saying that. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Mike Field. Maybe it was Spartan. I don't know. Old names in the community. They're both kind of not around anymore, which is saddening, very much saddening. But you know, maybe they do pop around one day again. But there's also lots of new names in the community as well, which is a lot of fun, right? One of them being Father Nicholas. I may not have mentioned it in the video before, but he's actually making his own videos now. He has his own YouTube channel, and I watch it from time to time. He has really good thumbnails. I will give him that. His thumbnails rival mine in terms of how good they look, because that's one of the things I like the most, is actually making the thumbnails. So when I'm doing the videos, I do like doing the video, but doing the thumbnail really is the highlight for me. I like looking at all my neat little thumbnails and being like, oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I unironically do that. But I'm gonna go for the Dirk Slam now on this poor little leper. He is down to his last breath. He still has one more Solemnity. Oh my god, he just won't go down, will he? This freaking leper does not want to die. And yeah, is he gonna go Solemnity? Okay, I'm just gonna skip along to the end. Alright, there we are. I wanted to finish the match with a solo, but my man-at-arms went for an act out, so I wasn't able to really put myself into position, which is unfortunate, but such is the end of the leper, and let's go for match number 2. Alright, and here we go, straight into a match number 2, and this time I play against Father Nicholas Kalashnikov comp. So I requested this actually. I said, you know what, play Kalashnikov, I want to see it. I want to see if that team does well against this full virtue team that I have going here. I generally don't know who's gonna win. If I had to put my money on either, I would probably put it on the Kalashnikov, because it really only struggles against like flagellants, and this team doesn't have flagellants, so I don't think this untraditional way of stress prevention really is gonna help all that much. And I am bent between using Bolster or Retribution here. I don't really know what I want to do. Both are nice, right? Yeah, but let's be honest, Repulse is likely to miss anyway. I'm gonna bolster, screw it. I feel like bolstering. They have an extra 15 dodge here that's probably gonna miss, even regardless of what happens. They go command buff, they're gonna go aggressive. Oh, maybe I should have gone Retribution. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I don't have Holy Lance. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. I only now noticed it. Yeah, this is another problem with running Inspiring Cry, is that since you're always gonna run Rally to the Flame, if you have Inspiring Cry at the same time, it limits you to 2 abilities, and you usually don't want to have just Stunning Blow as your offensive ability. Like, sometimes you gotta do it, but most of the time you don't want to let that happen, because if you do let that happen, if your opponent just has a lot of stun resistance in the front line, if you don't have to use Stun Trinket, it's gonna feel really freaking bad for you not to have at least the Zells to try and chip away at their sanity. But such is the way of the Witcher Circus. Father Nicholas says 90 accuracy. No, wait. Yeah, I have used the Battle Ballad. Yeah, I have used the Battle Ballad, so my hit chances aren't that atrocious, but I will say still quite lucky to hit everyone. The donkey goes for the Hansel, he gets 1 crit total. It was on my Antiquarian, which is really unfortunate, but you know, what can I do about it? Absolutely nothing is what I can do about it. Who do I want to go for? Maybe the Jester? Maybe myself? Maybe no one? It is a weird decision to make, isn't it? I think myself, actually. I'm gonna go for myself. I'm gonna do this. Clear the horror as well, which, once again, this ability clears horror. So do you want to get the virtue chance or not? It doesn't make any sense. It's so odd how virtue circus abilities are built. It really does not make any sort of sense, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. Oh, that is a very juicy crit, I'll take that. And a daze as well on the doggy. Not the most important character to get a daze on at this point, but you know, I'll take it, I guess. But yeah, once again, kind of a weird thing, because it tries to prevent... Oh, that is That is juicy. That is a juicy crit rage. Holy. 28, my entire health bar. Grim Tidings. Little jester. How do I save you? I guess I have to go rally to the flame here. But Chap, didn't you just say yesterday that you kind of prefer being aggressive? Well, yeah, but in this situation, there's no point in giving my opponent just, you know, a kill. I feel like healing here is perfectly okay, because they won't be able to drop me to that store for at least a little while. And I definitely want to stay alive for a little while, just to get my finale off at the very least. I could go for rejuvenating vapors here, maybe even rejuvenating vapors twice and try to counter the bleed, but honestly, I mean, pestering vapors materia pestis is too good to pass up on. Like, just look at the freaking destruction pestering vapors is doing here. It does like 2 damage on hit, right? So that's 2 damage. Then it does an extra 8 damage on each character, so that's 10 damage on each character. That's a total of 40 damage just in one ability that's spread out. That's an Arbalest crit right there, without even getting a crit. If you get a crit, it gets even crazier, and since it's an AoE ability, the crit chance is sort of bigger, because you have more chances, I mean, more opportunities to crit, right? So even though you only have a 9% crit, you see it crit very often, because if you do 9 times 4, it goes up to 36. Yeah, it is 36, I'm not that bad at math. And, okay, that is a very rough spot for this doggy, actually. Do I want to go for the finale on him? I kinda do. If I don't, I'm gonna get manacles here, so... I think that the smart... Oh, but killing that occultist is so valuable. Oh, if I guard here... Oh, there's no good moves, man. There's no good moves. Apart from trying to kill him with a festering vapors. I think that's my best move here. Yeah, trying to kill him with a festering vapors do a little bit more chip damage on the occultist. 90. Yeah, because the character we really want to kill here is... Oh, I failed the blight here as well, unfortunate. Yeah, the character we do 100% want to kill is the occultist. We want to finale him and get him out of the match. He goes, Rage on the Crusader, you madman! Why would you do such a reckless thing, I ask of you? I have no idea why you do such a thing. How much damage am I doing? 11 to 20. Oh, I need a crit. I need a crit finale. I'm sorry, but this is a Shepherd Doggy video. This is not a 135J-Man video. So I will not be going for the crit finale on the occultist. I apologize sincerely, but if you want that sort of content, go watch 135J-Man. I'm sure he says something down in the comments below. He's gonna go for the Liquloons. You're making me want a finale. I mean, at this point... No, Dirk Stab is still the best move, isn't it? Yeah, Dirk Stab is still the best move. How much Virtue Chance do I have? Not a lot, honestly. Well, I probably want to keep the heal. I'd rather heal than die here, honestly. Even if I go Virtuous, you can still die immediately, even if you go Virtuous. Sometimes that does happen. You get a Virtue and you're like, yay, and then Deathblow. That happens in the base game too. It does happen. I can attest to that. Well, best artillery. Oh, I don't think that's a virtue. It's at 100. It's not gonna be a virtue, is it? Nah, it's a fearful. I mean, fearful's kind of a virtue. Kind of. Emphasis on kind of. I could clear it now, because if I don't, I'm gonna die, but I'm probably just gonna die from Abyssal Artillery anyway. No point healing here, honestly, because Abyssal Artillery, you know, just nothing changes. Just lots and lots of bad things happening for me regardless. I could... Oh, I see it. Oh, do I see it though? The Men at Arms can guard. Do I see it is the question. I want to go for the finale now, so I heal here so I don't lose damage, and then I'm gonna go for... Ghost guard on the Houndmaster, that's hilarious. I'm gonna go for the occultist. I don't care. No more occultists for you, man. 13 to 24. Oh my god, that was close. Yeah, thank goodness I wasn't at this store. Definitely the best move to heal there. If I didn't heal, that could have very well not have been enough. Yeah, 13 to 24. How much HP did he have? 14? Not entirely sure. That could have gone very wrong very quickly. Why do you not detransform manacles here? I am so confused by Father Nicholas's play. It's being very odd today, to say the least. I go hopeless. Come on, my virtue chances, they're not working. I've gotten one virtue this match. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this, I have another 70. Do I go for it? I think I go for my final action with the Antiquarian though. Yeah, come on Antiquarian. That's twice. That's twice that she has a virtue chance, doesn't get it, and her first turn as an afflicted character is to pass. But the doggy decides to pass on his life as well. Goes for the Houndsari. And here's the thing, right? If you go for your final ability, you do hit, but you don't apply. I mean, if you go for your final ability and get killed by a riposte, you do hit your opponent, and you can potentially get death blows, but you don't apply anything. You don't apply DOT, you don't apply stress, you don't apply horror, you don't apply debuffs, you don't apply, you apply guard break? I'm not sure. No, you don't. You do not apply debuffs. Guard break is a debuff, so you won't. Come on, 70 virtue. Oh, I go powerful this time, do I? Ooh, I'll take it, man, I'll take it. And glory and honor, ever onwards to the brave, and goes for the stun, 11 damage. Oh my god, yeah, 25% damage from virtue. Unconditional, by the way. If you didn't know, vigorous, yeah, powerful I'd say is like the 4th strongest one. I think focus is actually better than powerful, because focus gives you accuracy and crit for your main character, you know, the one that actually gets the virtue. Gives you 10 accuracy and 8 crit, and I feel like 10 accuracy and 8 crit is a little bit better than 25% damage. Even though 25% damage is really freaking good. I feel like that's better. And the buff is 10 accuracy and 10 crit, and 10 crit is massive for 4 rounds with just one character. While the damage buff is 15% damage for 4 rounds, but every character but yourself, so it should be 3 characters usually. Which, you know, if you have characters die, then the buff technically loses out on its value, while you only need 2 characters for focus to be doing its thing, right? It's definitely a weird comparison in between them, but I feel like focus is just overall better, because while that, I was doing 0 to 2 damage there, by the way, while that, how do you call it, the 15% damage buff can sound appealing, at the point in the match where you already get it, your opponent's character should be pretty much about to drop to death's door at that point, so it should be a matter of, you know, you make them drop to their star, then they heal, then you make them drop to their star again, and at that point the plus 15% damage won't really matter all that much. So while it would be a very good buff to get like round 1, it would be amazing. To get it like by like round 5 in a situation like this, it doesn't really change too much. I'd rather just have my hit chance go from 85 to 95, and my crit chance make me get the stun because of a crit stun, right? Giving me extra chances of actually applying those resistances, but I get another pass. God damn it, my characters do not want to act today. I might still lose this one, let's be honest. It would be very unfortunate if I do still lose it, but it is a possibility. It is most generally a possibility. Well, you're pretty much dead unless I do something about it, and I think I will actually. I think I will try to save her, right? Or do I want to just sacrifice her? Yeah, I'm sorry. There's just no world where I don't kill the Abomination here. Just take the Abomination out. If you're playing for a win, you have a virtuous Crusader. It doesn't matter whatever virtue you get. As long as you have a virtuous Crusader and another character alive, you cannot lose against the Man-at-Arms that only has Valor. I mean, you can lose if your own Man-at-Arms here goes like abusive and then stuns you like 5 times in a row. If that happens, then maybe, maybe you can still lose, but that is extremely unlikely. You should not expect that to happen, and you shouldn't even... Should you plan for it? I guess you should plan for every single possibility, but you shouldn't be in the middle of the night just dreading that 5-turn abusive... What? That 5-turn abusive shenanigans, right? And my opponent decides to move back there, which is definitely an interesting idea. I'm just gonna Retribution you again, I don't mind. Slowly but surely, I will tickle you until you are at the start, and I'll tickle you some more. As long as you don't mind, of course. It is consensual tickling onto this Man-at-Arms, I think. So the Crusader, yeah, in terms of the virtues, I'd say that Courage is definitely number one because of the situation. If you were to get Courageous against Damage Team, you know, once again, it doesn't matter. But if you were to get Vigorous in any situation, sure, it would be better than Courageous, but considering the situations where you usually get them, I'd say that. In terms of the other virtues, like the worst one's definitely Stalwart. I feel Stalwart is just, it's just Stalwart. Gives you 15% prot, which if you're getting a virtue, probably playing against a stress team, and stress teams usually don't care too much about your protection. It could matter with like a Hound's Area doing 0 damage, that's a possibility, but honestly it's so minute that it probably won't make a difference. Just on one character anyway, the rest of your characters are gonna die regardless, so it's not like it's a Borg flight or anything. And it gives you extra 8% death blow resistance, which, I mean, sure, 8% death blow res, it's probably not gonna matter either, because he's just gonna die regardless to like a finish him or a finisher ability. 8% DVR can be just an absolute joke, and usually is an absolute joke. And it also lets you heal 10 stress each and every single... No, not each and every single turn, that would be brutal. It lets you heal 10 stress with a 25% chance of happening, which is the act out for every single virtue. It's a 25% chance on your... whenever you act. So if you get like 2 of them in a row, you're quite lucky. If you don't get any of them in like 5 rounds, you're quite unlucky. At least that's how I see it, and that's all the virtues, isn't it? It's vigorous. Vigorous also gives you 10% dodge, by the way, because you know, I don't really know why it wouldn't give you 10% dodge. I don't really know why it would give you 10% dodge either, but it is what it does give you. If you have it on a dodgy character, which you likely won't, because usually the virtues are on Crusaders, then sure, maybe it makes a bit of a difference. You get like, what, 5 dodge on 50? But on the Crusader, you usually have like 5, so it would go up to 7, or maybe even just 6. It's really not that helpful. I usually see it go up to 17. Usually see it go up from 15 to 17, but yeah, if you get Vigorous, that's definitely not why you're going to be hoping for the Vigorous. You're going to be hoping for the Vigorous for that juicy 10% max HP heal, as well as that absolutely juicy plus 40% damage dealt when you go first. And speaking of going first, the Crusader does go first here and takes the Man-at-Arms out. That is going to be GG's for Father Nicholas. So I would say that the Kalashnikov comp should be winning this match. But maybe, I think my opponent did a weird decision or two. Definitely sacrificing that doggy there while you're at the store against the Riposte. I mean, usually I advocate for sacrificing the doggy for a bit more stress, but against the Riposte, if you were to sacrifice him by having 5 HP into a Riposte, and you still get the stress for sure, but going to the Repulse and then not getting any of the stress is really unfortunate. Same thing happens if you go for like your final action with the Bounty Hunters and like drop a Caltrops, but then you die to the Repulse, and then even though the Caltrops clearly hit your opponent, doesn't apply any bleed or any debuffs. It's really unfortunate. I don't know if I agree with that being a thing. I think it shouldn't. I think you should apply in everything but stress, because then suicidal stress teams might be a little bit too strong. But the other abilities would be overall fine in my opinion. So anyway, that is going to be all for today. Hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers!